Now, the fight to stop the Dakota Access Pipeline became violent when the companies were reported to have used both dogs and pepper spray against the mostly Native American protesters. Now, tribal spokesman Steve Sitting Bear said protesters reported that 6 people had been bitten by security dogs, including a young child, and at least 30 people had been pepper sprayed in these protests. Now, that's actually different from the police account, who claimed that authorities had no reports of protesters being injured. Oh, protesters being bitten by dogs? Nope, didn't happen. Really. Furthermore, they added that 4 private security guards and 2 guard dogs were injured. Oh my God, those poor private security officers. In fact, Vicky Granado, spokesman for Dallas energy-based Energy Transfer Partners, which is developing the pipeline, by the way, said the protesters had broken through a fence and basically attacked the workers. Attacked them. Now, luckily, we had Amy Goodman from Democracy Now! Out there covering the protests, and I want to show you some of that footage that she captured out there. Let's take a look.
We're standing in Washington! Get in there! Let's go!
People have gone through the fence, men, women, and children. The bulldozers are still going, and they're yelling at the men in hard hats. One man in hard hat threw one of the protesters down, and they're marching over the dirt mounds. Some of the security have dogs. The 6 bulldozers are pulling back right now. People are marching forward in their tracks. There are men, women, and children. More security trucks are pulling up. There are some protesters on horseback. Security has some kind of gas. People are being pepper sprayed. Sir, reporter from New York, what are you spraying people with?
I haven't sprayed anything, man.
But what is that?
The guy just makes me in the face right now. Amy Goodman, this guy makes me in the face.
Can you show us the label?
Look, it's all over my sunglasses. Just makes me in the face.
A dog.
Dog bit him right now.
Dog on me. These fuckers throw the dog on me. Look at this. Look at this.
Let me say.
You throw the dog on me. No, you did it on purpose, man.
Let me say.
Over there with that dog. I was like walking, throw the dog on me straight, even without any warning, you know. Look at this. Look at this.
The dog.
Yeah, the dog did it, you know. Look at this. There. So did it.
Ma'am, your dog just bit this protester. Your dog just bit that protester. Are you telling the dogs to bite the protesters? The dog has blood in its nose and its mouth.
And she's still standing here threatening.
You can't put your blame on the dog. You're an evil woman. You can't put your blame on the
That's
protester.
mistreatment against
You will live with that.
These people are just threatening all of us with these dogs.
Why are you letting her dog go after the protesters? It's covered in blood.
Oh yeah, it really looked like it was the protesters that were attacking the workers. No, you saw the protesters cross the fence, and then and then the workers started pushing them. Look, I know it's not fun to have somebody yell at you or get in your face. That doesn't give you the right to push them, right? That's where the violence came from, okay? And look, it led to people being pepper sprayed and bit by dogs. By dogs. Now, here's the other thing, right? Now, I mentioned private security, right? These are not police. These are not police officers. These are private citizens, right? With dogs that are sicking those dogs on protesters. These are hired thugs. Mercenaries, right? These are mercenary groups. Now, Also, there were bulldozers, right, that were there, right, that they ended up chasing off. Now, those bulldozers were there digging while this whole thing is supposed to be working its way through court. According to the protesters, on Friday, the tribe filed court papers saying that it found several sites of significant cultural and historical value along the path of the pipeline, right? Which, look, is private property, right? It's not actually on the reservation, but it's lands that had once belonged to them and has sites of significant historical relevance to them, right? So those dozers just happen to be digging right in that spot. Now, Standing Rock Sioux Chairman David Archambault II said in a statement that construction crews removed topsoil around an area around 150 feet wide, stretching for 2 miles. And, of course, in that path were sites of historical relevance to the tribe. Now, Archambault said the demolition is devastating. These grounds are the resting places of our ancestors. The ancient cairns and stone prayer rings there cannot be replaced. In one day, our sacred land has been turned into hallowed ground. Right? Hallowed ground, not hallowed. So, look, seeing that, you kind of wonder why these protesters are pissed. Not only that, but of course, the whole purpose of the pipeline, or protesting the pipeline, is to protect the water sources that are, yes, not on the reservation, but if there's an oil spill, which would likely happen because oil spills happen all the time, well, there goes that water. Now, Morton County Sheriff Kyle Kirchheimer said in a statement, and this is interesting, that individuals crossed into private property and accosted private security officers with wooden posts and flagpoles. First of all, you saw that part of the video, right? Where they crossed the line and that guy shoved somebody. Not a protester. The protester didn't shove anybody. They got shoved by a worker. But anyway, look, if you want to see the whole video, go to Democracy Now! I'll have a link to the YouTube video in the comments as well. So you can check out the whole context, right? So you can look at everything. And I suggest that you do so. From what I've seen, it's not the protesters that were violent. It was the thugs, the mercenaries, the hired goons. But anyway, Kirchheimer says any suggestion that today's event was a peaceful protest is false. Look, man, ridiculous. Here's what they're doing. They're destroying those people's history. And when they get mad about it, you attack them with mace and sick dogs on them. That's what's been happening. The only people that made this protest violent is an overreaction by the company. And yet, here we have the company, and the police officers, by the way, blaming it solely on the protesters. And the corporate media essentially ignoring it. And thank goodness for Amy Goodman, man. Going out there and doing some actual journalism. Look, the thing is, there's an injustice being done to these people, right? All they're doing is that they're trying to protect their water. They're trying to protect their water from the eventual spill, the inevitable oil spill that's going to ruin their water supply. That's what these people are out there protesting. They're doing the most American thing that you could do. They're right to protest. And look at what they're met with. Look at what they're met with. And for those who say, but Jeff, you don't understand. We're doing this for energy independence. No, dude. You say that and you're essentially parroting a lie from corporate media. Right? And from the corporations themselves. See, Energy Transfer Partners, which is the one that was building this pipeline, and I covered this, they have no plans to keep this oil in the United States if they decide to pump it. I mean, that's what the pipeline's for. The Bakken Fields is already being pumped, right? They're building this pipeline so they can ship this oil through North Dakota down to Texas, where it can be basically shipped out and sold on the world market. That's how this works, okay? And even if you don't care about that, and you think, well, you know, they've got the right to sell it wherever you want. Well, think about the impact of climate change from someone else burning this oil. Which, by the way, they're pumping this oil the same way that they frack for natural gas, the shale. So that process, of course, inevitably comes with a lot of risk. And here's the other thing, right? A lot of people don't realize, well, the company doesn't anyway, and the people who defend the company and their practices, they don't realize that the whole purpose these people are protesting for, to protect their water sources, they don't understand that water is going to eventually become more precious than oil in the coming decades as the planet continues to get warmer thanks to climate change. Fresh water is going to be more and more scarce. And what happens when you pollute it all? Can't really unpollute this water. And that's what these protesters are trying. That's why these protesters are out there. That's why they're protesting. They're not just fighting for their land. They're fighting for the future, our future. While the oil companies and their hired thugs, well, they're only out there fighting for their future profit. And now, unfortunately, as you've seen, they have shown how far they're willing to go to make that profit. And that should be problematic for everyone.